Magnificent Minions. 6/16/2011. Wednesday night. Nassim's regular character is a defective warforged named Fleet. Several sessions ago, a group of Vecna worshipping wizards abducted Fleet with the intention of dismantling and steadying him. Fleet's sudden and somewhat unexpected disappearance afforded Nassim the chance to roll up a new character, try something different for a few sessions. Recently, however, the heroes located and stormed the Vecnite's secret lair and rescued Fleet from his captors. Now Nassim has two characters, which represents a different sort of challenge. To get to the main bad guys, the heroes had to carve through Vecna's disciples, which included plenty of minions. The disciples' main shtick was that they uttered a terrible curse when killed. The curse made whoever killed them temporarily vulnerable to necrotic damage, which, as you might imagine, is particularly troublesome when fighting agents of the undead god of secrets. At this point, Chris Perkins does put up some stat blocks. Now, considering I still use the humble Windows Movie Maker, it seems that when I try to translate this over it, or even just with the print screen, it does not do very well. So you can't really see it. I'm not going to waste your time reading out the stat block. However, in the description, you will find a link to a series of stat blocks, art, tokens, all that good stuff for all of the creatures spoken of in this article. So without further ado, I will go on and back to our regularly scheduled program. Because of their Curse of the Whispered One power, these minion cultists are best combined with undead creatures that deal necrotic damage. Nothing says "Bwahaha" better than a minion who keeps dealing the damage long after it's dead. Of course, once my players realized that the curse's effects don't stack, they got smart and let one character focus on taking out the minions so that the rest of them wouldn't be cursed. Magnificent Minion Contest. Thanks to everyone who submitted minion ideas and stat blocks for the Magnificent Minion Contest. Not surprisingly, we received a ton of fun and wacky ideas, with brutes and skirmishers by far the most popular monster roles represented. Not a whole lot of love for artillery and lurkers, however. I picked my three favorite, and have a few things to say about each one. A cautionary note: no real effort was made to develop or edit these monsters. In a couple of cases, I made some formatting changes and filled in some accidental omissions, but that's it. Blood of Torog by Chris C., USAF Academy, Colorado. Torog is the god of imprisonment, torture, and the Underdark. This particular critter likes to crawl inside your body, mingle with your blood, and control you like a meat puppet. Invade the Blood is a fairly complex power for a minion, but undeniably scary. I might change the encounter power to a recharge when the attack misses power, just to make it even scarier. And while its basic attack damage might seem low at first, its aura makes up for it. The change shape power is a particularly nice little bit of flavor that doesn't have much impact in combat, but gives the monster a disturbing aspect that mirrors the mutilated form of Torog himself. Sometimes even the most experienced designers forget the impact that these sorts of powers can have at the game table. It also reinforces the idea that monsters can be more than the sum of their statistics. Clobbermob Nilbog by Robert P. Toms River, New Jersey. Try saying this monster's name quickly 3 times. For those who don't know, the Nilbog, goblin spelled backwards, traced its origins back to the earliest days of D&D. Its original shtick was that attacks healed the Nilbog, while healing spells wounded it. One of my all-time favorite dungeon adventures, Perlman's Curiosities in issue number 32, featured one of these little buggers, and I've been favorably disposed toward them ever since. Clobbermob Nilbogs resemble regular goblins save for their greasy, violet-red skin, black eyes, and backward hands and feet. They speak a hideous mishmash of elven and goblin, and are inclined to sing grisly choruses as they swarm victims. Also check out their equipment. Gotta love a minion that carries around 3 goose eggs and a roasted pixie. I'm guessing that AC1 is not an error, but an attempt to reflect the idea that Nilbogs are damage magnets. I think I'd change its thievery bonus to plus 17 to account for training, but its other defenses and its damage are spot on. Clockwork Wasp Drone by Baron Ross S., Fort Collins, Colorado. Baron reports that this particular minion was used during a fight where the heroes had to climb a tower with moving floors shaped like Tetris pieces, while being attacked by a hive of clockwork wasps, leading to a boss battle with their queen at the top. That's one battle I would love to see. Being small of brain, I like minions that are simple and straightforward. However, the best minions have a signature power or trait that embodies what the monster is all about. In this case, it's the extra damage that the drone deals when adjacent to allies. It makes the DM want to group these minions into tight swarms, and how appropriate is that? As is true of many minions, the Clockwork Wasp drone explodes when it drops to 0 hit points. This particular critter unleashes a burst of lightning that targets enemies only, so the poor drone doesn't have to worry about killing all of its buddies like an exploding can of Raid insecticide. Honorable mentions. Props also go out to Rain S of Nokesville, Virginia, for the Flying Eyeball. Each minion comes with a random Beholder Eye Ray, and Kendall B of Toronto, Ontario, for the Troll Whelp, which a troll can spawn when it takes damage and then eat to gain temporary hit points. Until the next encounter. I want to thank all of you who have made it to the end of this video. This reading comes from Chris Perkins' Dungeon Magazine series, The Dungeon Master Experience, in which Chris gives excerpts of wisdom and lessons he's learned from many years of running games. If you're interested in reading it for yourself, you can find a link down in the description along with links to where you can find the music used in this video, which is a product of Critical Role's Scanlan Shorthalt Press.